What's going on, you guys? Today, well, if you can't tell, we're actually going to pick up another project. Yeah, I know. I still have 20 at the house and I'm getting another. I've got the disease, what can I say? But we actually were going to pick up this car a couple months ago, but things just weren't aligning. Now this someone has bought the car, they've taken two parts off of it, and they have posted it for sale for $2,000 less. Bought it sight unseen, and not only until last night I realized this was the exact same car that I was going to buy a couple months back. We're about to head over to Columbus, Ohio and scoop up the project. We should be pulling up now. Well, you guys, we done did it again. Here we've got us a 93 Nissan 300ZX convertible, and this one's actually in presentable shape, unlike the last one we had, which was wrecked and absolutely done in. But just drove 3 hours over here to Columbus. She's been secured. Now let's go ahead, head back home, because I am sweating. So we've made it probably a quarter mile down the road before realizing one of my tires is actually very flat. On my tire pressure gauge it was saying 18 psi. The only issue with that, well, it says the driver or the front left tire was 19 psi. For the past couple days I've been airing my tires up in the front, which have been maintaining 30 psi. So now I didn't even think about it. My dad brought it to my attention. You get your tires rotated, each of them valve stem seals are in a different location, so you're not even getting a real reading of what's going on. And like me, I was filling this tire up in the winter and I was filling up the wrong tire. So I guess the more you know. Well, we did get a little close here to our Z. If we would have pulled it the rest of the way out, we would have been within inches of ripping this nice KBD off. But let's go ahead, unhook all this and unload this beauty. And we're unloaded. Now let's go ahead and take the trailer back to my dad's, drop my dad off, and I don't know if we're gonna get to this thing today yet. Just kidding, we're not going just yet. We just got back from unloading the trailer, and well, let's show you guys some of the goodies that we just happened to get when we bought this car. We got a set of these wheels for free. I believe they're just some reps, honestly, but I don't care. With tires like that, I'll take them every time. Not only that, we have a literal brand new Megan 2-seater exhaust. Like, what? How? That is such a deal. I've literally kind of been stressing about this, that I bought it sight unseen 4 days ago. We finally come pick it up, and I got nearly what I paid for the thing back in free bonus parts. You literally cannot beat that. I'm still kind of in shock. Not only that, I actually really like these wheels. I don't know why. It's kind of just old 80s 90s look, and yeah, they're skinny. Maybe they'll work for an NA or a daily, but I actually have a lid in the barn, but I have a convertible top right over there. It's not a top, however, it is the frame, and if we can find a top, then we can make it work. Other than that, it looks like we have aftermarket catalytic converters on here. We have some RS type mufflers. I mean, yeah, it looks good on the back, I can't lie, but they were welded into the factory exhaust pipes. First, I would like to tell you guys, if you've made it this far, I'm really sorry for the gap of time for our video, like that we haven't posted. Reason being is, honestly, I was not happy with my last video. I wasn't happy with the content, and I was not happy with the quality or how it turned out. It was just all over the place. Now, as far as the engine goes, it's a little less than optimal, I guess. If you haven't noticed, yes, it's automatic. It's tragic, I know. Luckily, I think this is still a nose panel, so that's honestly kind of cool that we have for our own now. Here's our motor that we're working with. From what I can see here, we have new style intake gears plus. However, I'm fairly certain these all came with new style engines. In 93, what makes these so weird is everyone else got new style injectors. However, actually this one has new styles. Holy cow, that is a big plus in itself. But these actually came with old style injectors, being for a new style engine or plenum. So they're kind of just like they were forgotten about in 93 when everything else got the bump, and here we are. Let's go ahead and see if we can see the casting for the heads anywhere to get more of an idea what this thing is. We'll let you know after we use our flashlight and camera. That right there is 10Y. We have a new style engine. Yes! Well, today what we're going to do, before we get started over on the vert and see what we do, we're actually going to change the front fascia on this Z. Mainly because if we're trying to sell it, I don't really foresee a bunch of people going for a broken bumper, especially just when you can see the radiator support from underneath. It's just not a good look for these cars. So even though this one has a cracked lip on one of these sides, it's definitely going to look better in the long run. I'm not worried about this bumper. I can always just trim those little edges off, and we can use that Stillen NA lip over there and take its place. Now we've got our bumper mounted up. The only downside to this bumper is over here on this corner, it is all broken off, so there's no way to like pull it up and mount it. It would really help if we had the bracket system in here. However, that we don't have, because really they're missing from like all Z's. It is 9 in the morning and it is already 90 degrees. I am suffering bad today. Let's get cooled off. Let's go start this thing up. I got the mail today and my plates actually expire in 3 days. So we've got pretty much today to drive this thing and get it done. I'm ready to send it on its way. Fires up every time. Cold start miss. Other than that, all maintenance is done. Pretty solid car. If you guys want it, shoot me a DM. Maybe we can work something out. But we're really officially done with this thing. I never want to touch it again. I just want to sell it. We've been driving for about 30 minutes now. Not a single hiccup. Car's driving great. Sounds great. Well, it's a little loud, but someone come by. Now, before we go ahead and fully dig into our convertible, do a compression test, and see where we're at with it to know what we can do with it, we're over here to finish up with this thing. We've got our big 1/2-inch impact, and we're going to rob the rear subframe, all of that assembly and whatnot, and we're going to try to take the steering rack and like the front assembly and whatnot. Get this thing ready, we can send it to the scrapper. Here I've got a bunch of extra loot that I can throw in to make up for what I'm taking. So it's a bunch of extra junk that's been around by my shop, so I'm more than happy to get rid of it. So we already cracked these loose, so let's go ahead and remove the fronts and see about dropping the rear off. A solid hour later, and we have managed to fight our way and get this rear subframe out. My biggest obstacle was getting up in here for the e-brake mounts. This side was bent all the way up where I couldn't get it. I just managed to pry it back. Now we have literally nothing holding this on back here, so we're going to try to carefully drop this off onto the ground. Then we get to move on to the front subframe and rack. Finally, so happy to be done with this one. Let's figure out how we're going to muscle this down. Why not grab a starter relay? Oh, well, our rear end is out. That was actually a pain in the rear. Get it. Now we've got the front all disconnected, completely dropped, and we're going to put a wheel under this side just like we have the other sides. Keep this side up, and we're going to jack the driver's side up so we can get this upright or knuckle under the frame rail. Now that our front subframe assembly and everything is out, let's go ahead and load this up with all of our extra scrap metal. This is the big EGR delete, as I just threw probably 10 EGR sets out. Throw them in the trash. No one's ever gonna buy them. Don't be like me. So let's make it disappear. Now we've got everything in the car. It is totally loaded up now. Got the trans in the front, because ain't no way I'm gonna be able to pick them up and drop them in here. Now for the fun part. This one I know I can get in by myself. That one is going to be quite the challenge. We end up getting all this pile of some reclaimed stuff, some things we didn't get. So let's try to, load up. Oh, that was easy. Not really. Just kidding. It's not easy by yourself, especially fully equipped. With the rack on, it just moves the knuckles and stuff way too much, and it's not very, I don't know, it's kind of awkward to put in. But we're all finished. Let's head back to the house and see if we can compression test this car before the day's over with. Now we've got my helper with me. Let's get this thing opened up. Let's find the timing belt. I think it's in the trunk. And let's see if this thing even has a tensioner to be able to set this all up. Sometimes I hate getting other people's forgotten projects. I love tarping it up though. Gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, there it is. I guess we'll use the old timing belt. Oh, there's the tensioner. Guess we'll grab that too, because we're really gonna need it. More or less all we need here. Oh man. Well, you guys, I'm seeing a lot of things here that are gonna prevent me from even doing this. I feel like I'm just starting to get in a rabbit hole that I'm not ready for. So, reason being this. Wow, it actually moves. That's super strange. Whoever just totally effed that up, they bent it, trying to pry it off to get this crank sprocket off because they don't want to buy a new one. And in turn, they damaged the washer, and now that's going to chew up the belt if we install it. I'm not wanting to. I don't want to have a big liability happen and risk destroying this just trying to get a compression test. So, cams all spin back and forth, nothing seized. I believe this is just a given up timing attempt. We're just gonna pull this out, give it the whole 9 yards, and make it one again. I'm gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed. I really wanted to test that out to see, just to know, to be, I don't know, to feel a little better about it, I guess. No way, no way, no way, guys. No way. Oh my gosh. We just found a passenger cowl in one piece with the seal. If you don't know, this is a huge deal when it comes to a Z32. These things are always trashed. Oh my goodness. I'm about to go buy a lottery ticket. Ah! They had this, like, mint pristine trim piece. Can't wait to put that on my car. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap this thing back up. Now it's all covered up. So, this is actually going to be the end of the video, you guys. I'm ready to move on and get working on something and actually commit to it. Today, we changed the alternator in this. Found out it died on us because every time we would turn electric accessory on, it would cut down on my speedometer and my tachometer. So eventually, once I turned enough on, the car would bog down. Came back, tried to start it up, and it's actually got a bad alternator that's not been charging. We have cleaned up the shop tremendously. We've only got a dash in here because this is my dash that I'll keep in case I need it. Got a couple wiring harnesses and a block out here to post for sale. Other than that, literally, like, we have room everywhere back here. But what we're actually going to do which you guys can be waiting on next video. We're going to show you everything that I recommend to do when you do a timing service. This is actually going to go in that convertible. Was going to use it for my slick top. However, since the convertible engine is a phase 2 engine, I want that for myself. And we're going to put this in it. And why not? Since it's already done, we can just pull the other out and drop this in. Got my other engine back here. This is my Frankenstein VG. And we have organized and cleaned all of this. And even back here. We literally had like 4 auto transmissions down here about 2 weeks ago. Now there's none. All we have is a KA bell housing and manuals. Got all of our shipping boxes. I've actually got my RB on the stand back there in the corner under all them carpets. And we also have 6 sets of seats right here that I've managed to figure out how to fit. Needless to say, I'm super excited just to have this space. Even my dog can come in here. So now we have all the room for activities, and it's time to start grinding and getting stuff done. But with that being said, you guys, I apologize about this video being all over the place. Wasn't happy with last week's video, or I wasn't happy with our last video. Really, the cleaning has got us so distracted, but now that we're done, we can finally start moving forward. And if you guys liked the video and you want to stay tuned for our next one, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe down below, and we'll catch you then. Peace.